Hello and welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to talk all about product research on Etsy. This has been the most requested video to me ever since my How to Do Etsy SEO in 10 minutes video, which has seen some big success here on YouTube. So product research on Etsy, let me set the scene for you. This is all done inside Etsy. Your product research is going to be done inside Etsy. You don't need any external tools. So without naming any names with the tools, I think you know most of them. Don't waste time with external tools trying to find data on products inside Etsy. Okay, these tools don't have access to complete Etsy data. There is no substitute for Etsy data. So you're going to be wasting your time because the data on these tools is highly inaccurate. They all quote about 80% accuracy. It's under 50. Okay, they're highly inaccurate and I don't want you to waste time doing that. Instead, we do the hard work. There's no substitute for hard work when it comes to product research. You've got to go to the source of the information and then know what to look for and how to organize it. And I'm going to teach you all this so that you can find solid products to sell in your own Etsy store. But of course, you're not just going to copy other people. You've got to bring more value and bring twists, I call them twists, to your own Etsy store with the products you sell. This is going to be fascinating. This is the first time I'm going to be using computer footage as well. So you're going to see my screen. We're going to do this together. And by the end of this video, you're going to have a very good idea how to do efficient and accurate product research. Let's go. Okay, welcome inside my computer. This is something new for me and I hope that you get value from it. I know some of you have asked me to film more footage and content around actually inside the Etsy site. So the first part of product research is organizing your framework. So how the information is gathered, where you put it, so that you can then get the best information from the data that you've collected. So we're going to use, to do this, we're going to use women's jewelry. So this is something that's extremely popular. It's very easy to show you the process here on how you gather the data. So the very first thing you're going to do is you type your keyword into the Etsy search bar. So women's jewelry. Okay, once you've typed women's jewelry in, you're going to get tons and tons of different women's jewelry, and the first thing to note, you're going to collect data from stores that have a minimum of 1,000 sales. So the store has to have 1,000 sales to go into the data that you're going to collect. And a very good way, a quick way to know if they've got 1,000 sales is if the reviews are over 1,000. If the reviews are over 1,000, then of course they've got more than 1,000 sales. So what you're going to do is you're going to collect 50 stores and you're going to put them into a spreadsheet. Now I use Google Sheets and you can do the same, or you can use Microsoft Excel of course. And these are the parameters that you need in your sheet. The store name, so you copy the URL of the store into here. We're going to do this in a minute. How many items the store has, how many sales the store has over 1,000. So it's got to be over 1,000. When the store opened, so you need the year the store opened and the price range from low to high. Okay. Now, this is how you do it. You're going to go and open up. So we've got women's jewelry in the keyword in the search bar. And then you just quickly look at the reviews and start to make sure, obviously it's over 1,000 sales, and you start to open up 50 stores. Now, obviously your computer might not do 50 stores, I don't know, but you could do them in blocks of 10 or something like that. Now, I can't show these stores in my video because I haven't actually managed to get permission from people to show their stores. So I'm going to use this store to show you how to do it. Now this is my cousin's store and of course he's given me permission to do this. It's a lovely store, lovely jewelry, so it's a great store to do it on. So what you're doing is you're finding stores with over 1,000 sales and then you take the URL, you pop it in to your spreadsheet, how many items the store has got. 98. That goes in there. How many sales the store's got? 2,613. 2613. When the store opened. Now, when the store opened, all you do to find this information, there's two ways to find it. Number one, you just go down to the reviews, and at the bottom on the left hand side is when the store opened, 2017. Great, 2017. If you don't see a date here, then you go onto the reviews. So you order by most recent, and then you just go to the back page. So you go to the back page, and then that gives you a fairly good idea of when the store opened, as you can see here. It's accurate enough for this purpose. Okay, so that's how you do that. And then the last thing, of course, is the price. So price range from low to high. So in here, you just simply go back to the products and you sort it by lowest price. So then you've got 142 euros, and then we go to the back page and we have 2,900. So that's the price spread. It's 142 to 2,900. Okay. So what you're looking for, where as you add these stores over 1,000 sales down into your Excel sheet or Google Sheet, you're looking for this relationship. You're looking for the relationship here. How many items has the store got? How many sales has the store got? When did the store open? What's the performance? How many sales have they got for the items that they have in the store? And obviously, we're going to see a trend between, as the number of items goes up, so you're adding your stores in here, as the stores come in with higher items, you can expect to see more sales. And this is a very, very good indicator for you in your own store. Larger stores sell more items. It's an undisputable fact. So notice the correlation between this data as you're collecting all your stores to then do product research on. So this is how you're going to organize your data. Very straightforward, very simple. It's going to take you probably an hour or two, maybe a bit longer. It depends on your niche, but there is no substitute for this work. No tool is going to do the work like this. You doing it manually, firsthand, and getting the data. Right, we're going to now move on to the next step, which is actually how we look at the data, how we look at the products, how we see what's going on in these stores to give us a good idea, a good flavor, a really good flavor of what's happening in our niche with these 50 stores. Let's get into that. Okay, before we get into looking at products, I want to give you a piece of information relating to something that lots of you ask me all the time. And this question that you will ask me is, how do I find high demand, low competition products? Okay, this takes up so much time when you're doing product research, and the sheer fact of it is you cannot accurately find high demand products with low competition on Etsy. You can do part of the work on Etsy, and you can do part of the work outside Etsy. But again, I like to keep everything inside Etsy. So when it comes to competition, you can find information from within Etsy. If you type the product that you're looking for example, silver women's jewelry, immediately you get the number of products on Etsy when you type it into the search bar that are available. So if the numbers are in the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions, well, you know quite clearly the competition is high. If you do a search for a product and the number comes back 300, 500, 1,000, 2,000, that's clearly low competition. So part of the answer is available inside Etsy. The problem is when it comes to demand, there are no accurate measures for demand inside Etsy. Etsy doesn't release the data. All the tools that purport to know about the data it's not coming accurately from Etsy. Okay, there's huge inaccuracies with tools that work with Etsy and the Etsy API to give you data on sales. So you can do the hard work. You can do the hard work, as I'm mentioning in the Excel document, and you can actually go through and find products and look for the sales, look through the history, look through the reviews. That gives you much more accurate data because you can see it from inside Etsy. So I don't want you to get fixated on high demand and low competition. Let me give you a solid piece of data. Do you know how many high demand, low competition products I've worked with inside Etsy with my clients in the last 2 years? It's under 6. It's under 6 because there are so few high demand, low competition products available. So few. You're working inside competitive markets with decent demand. That's the truth. That is the truth. Competitive and there is demand. Don't try and find needles in haystacks with high demand and low competition. You are going to be driving yourself crazy. I've only seen 5 or 6. It's 6 in the last couple of years. So please remember this as you're doing your product research. Right, let's get further into the products and how you're going to do this. Okay, so now we need to understand how we look for the products to see what's selling well and how we can bring our own unique twists or aspects to designs or products that are working. Now, let me just explain something really, really important here. As well as seeing products that are working and selling, you've got to take risk. You have to take risk and bring your own products to the Etsy marketplace that aren't necessarily proven to sell. Okay, it's all very well looking at what's good, looking at what's working, using that as an influence for what you're doing. This is just solid common sense to do. But you've also got to take risks and bring your own designs that have little or no backing in the marketplace, in Etsy, to the market, because you need to be a leader. So when you bring items into your store that other people aren't doing, then you have the chance to lead. You have the chance to be the one that eventually other people will look at and say, oh, you know, and copy your design because it's your design that's selling really well. This is so important. Don't just rely on looking at the existing data out there. You've got to bring your own risk to the marketplace because the reward is so much higher. Okay, so there's 2 ways you look for the products. Number 1, if you see a store, I'm using my digital store for this because I didn't get a jewellery seller to actually allow me to use their store in this video. But just to show you the point, I don't mind showing you this, it's not a problem. So in my digital store, the number 1 thing you're looking for is where is the sales number here open. So it's clickable. This is direct access to what's selling on Etsy. So click on the sales, and there's plenty of jewellery stores that have this, and then you see all the sales. So now, and this is my store, you can see all the designs that I'm selling. Okay, and that's very simple to see. Now, if you don't have that, the other way to do it, and this is using my cousin's jewellery store, is you go down to the reviews, okay, order them by most recent. So now you can quickly go down through the reviews, they've got clickable links, and you start to see all the items that are working and selling. And you just go page by page and you very quickly get an idea, a very good idea, of what's selling. And this information you can then add either into your spreadsheet, you can add it in here, and along here you can add in your cell here the information about the stores that are selling certain items that you know that work with your store, or you can just collect photos. You can take images and have a folder with all the images in. The most important thing is, however you collect the information, is that you're seeing realistic sales. So you're either clicking on the sales number here, or you just click on the reviews to see this information. Once you start building up a pattern of what's working. And believe me, when you look at 50 stores, you're going to see what's working. Then you need to ask yourself questions. So what's the material of the item? What's the design of the item for jewelry? You know, are they using genuine diamonds? Are they using wasonite? Are they, are the rings thin? Are they thick? What colors are being used? Are any other materials being used? You're aligning what's working in the marketplace with your own store. So what you're going to do, what are you going to bring to the marketplace? What designs are you going to do? How do they fit in relationship to the designs that are already out there, they're already selling and already working? And you put all this information into your spreadsheet and you're going to get a pattern. You're going to get a pattern across all these designs, prices, how many items they've got, how many items, how many of each item are selling in the store, how long's the store been open, the photography, and the videos, how are these items being shown to the customers. So all of this information then gives you a very, very good idea of what's working in the marketplace when you look in search and type something like women's jewellery and you get all these different results. Thousands and thousands of shops worth of data that you can look at. This is the most powerful and reliable way to do this. Actually go to the source, find the information. Yes, it takes time. It's going to take you hours to do this. But when you do this work, you're going to get accurate data, and there's no substitute. I promise you, there is no substitute to doing the actual work. So I hope this makes sense. Let me know in the comments if you already do this, if you didn't know this. Now, are you going to do it? Does it make sense to you? I always answer every comment in my comments. As you know, I get to them eventually. I'm a week behind at the moment, so it takes a bit of time. But let me know if this makes sense to you and if you're going to do it. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.